just got back to the office. Typically, before I walk in every day, I try to read out of a devotional book. A lot of times I get it. Sometimes I forget. Today, on the other hand, we didn't forget, so it's always funny to me how some days you come in and you got something on your mind, and then you go read one of these things, just like, bam. Every single time is about what you're thinking about, or can correlate to it in a way. This devotional today was talking about how when you go talk to people, just say you're in an event, and they always say, like, what do you do? Just as like I do project management, or I'm a banker, or a nurse, or what the heck it may be. It goes into all that route just to talk to someone, and then the devotional goes into say, well, you could say, I serve the Lord Jesus Christ by working as a X, Y, and Z. Goes on to talk about your life's purpose and everything else with that. And the last thing at the bottom, when I was reading it, it always strikes me in different ways, but it says, he who disregards his calling will never keep the straight path in the duties of his work. And to shoot everyone straight, I don't know what caused the flip about 2 years ago with the endurance training, but I started documenting these things and doing them, and a lot of people just thought I was crazy, or thought I was trying to prove it to someone else. But it was something that is in the back of my head every day, that if I'm not doing this, I'm not doing enough. Because the more I started doing these, the more people would reach out to me and say, hey man, thank you for doing this, or I've been keeping up with you, this X, Y, and Z. Just people I never even thought of, or just when I would just tell them, so look, I just decided that I was going to do something more in my life than what I was doing. But I was going to tell y'all that if you ever get a feeling like that, just dig, because it does work. I'm by no means a Olympic athlete, or I wouldn't call myself athletic right now, because I'm a little bit on the hefty side. But I just hope through this process that we get to of sharing these videos, that I at least get to help witness to somebody and everything else. Because, I mean, we only get one life, and honestly, I feel like if you're not doing something for the right reasons, there's no reason to do it. So, yeah. We will be back in touch later today. I've got I believe, a run today. I hadn't really decided. Last 2 days have been hectic, so I hadn't got to work out a whole lot. Went to the gym last night because I was going to go do a bike ride on Strava, because my bike is in the bike shop, to find out that the gym I went to does not hook up to Zwift. So I was kind of down yesterday, but it is what it is. But thanks, guys. Keep falling in, and we'll keep going. Well, tonight we are back here. Obviously, if you can't tell from behind me, this is not a gym. It's not the truck. I got home from the gym tonight and discovered I forgot to record, and figured I'd do it a little bit of an update. So yesterday, Sunday, January the 4th, we did 16 miles on the bike. About an hour-ish. Went up from Unity Park in Greenville to Travelers Rest and back. And then tonight, we had a session of weightlifting followed by a swim. I got to the gym a little bit earlier than Darren because he was held up at work tonight, so I ended up getting to do some sprint intervals on the treadmill, and started off like a 3-minute warm-up just because I'm not trying to blow any hamstrings or anything off the bat, and then did a ramp, so it was like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Then the sprint started gradually going faster until we could hold a certain number. So I started off at 10 minutes for the first one, 8:30, 7:30, 6:30. Held 6:30 for like 4 reps, and then came back down to about an 8:30 pace for the last 2. All in all, it was like 2 miles of sprints with some walking, obviously. But in theory, I'm just trying to get my anaerobic capacity up a little bit because I've got such a base, but I don't really have any speed with it. So I can run very slow for far, but if you ever try to make me run fast, I kind of tank quick, which is not going to work. But got home tonight doing some meal prep, and I figured I was going to show everything that I am making for some of my meals this week, for at least for lunch. So I've got Tuesday and Wednesday's meal prep right now. I typically don't meal prep all at once because I get burned out with it, eating the same thing over and over. But I've got 6 ounces of steak, some Asian medley, some noodles, and some corn for lunch for the next 2 days. And then after that, I will hopefully be coming up with something else to eat. And I would love for some ideas from y'all, like meal prep ideas, because eating steak or this or broccoli and chicken every day of the week kind of gets old. So let me know. I'm going to do a little bit of recap of the last 2 days of the training, since I have neglected to record some more. One, it is very, very awkward to try to record yourself in the gym with an iPad because a lot of people get look at you like you're on crack. And then secondly, it's very hard to record a bike workout outside by yourself. So Sunday, which would be yesterday, I started off with a 60-mile bike ride. Well, pretty much the majority of the working out. Took me roughly an hour, and heck, let's pull it up. An hour and some change to get from Unity Park up to downtown Travelers Rest. So an hour, 9 minutes. Roughly about 14 miles an hour, give or take. It seemed to feel a lot stronger. I've been using this other workout indoors through an app called not Zwift. Yes, Zwift. So Zwift is a training platform for indoor cycling. If you have a trainer, it doesn't have to be like a bike trainer, but you have like a sit-on pedal bike that you use. It can set up to a speed sensor or a power meter. It will actually interface with the app and let you ride with other people and everything else. But as I'm new to cycling, it's a little bit humbling because what you think you're going fast outside and you get it compared to everybody else, you're getting lapped. It's a lot. So I enjoy it so far, but we got a long way to go because I'm trying to get the bike done as quickly as possible because that is the majority of the race. What I've been told is the swim is kind of a get through it as well as you can, but don't burn yourself out. And then prepare for the bike. Go through the bike. Don't gas on it completely, but you want to stay in it and then give you the best shot to have a good finish when you get to the run without cooking your legs. I'm going to have to balance that. I don't really know how to balance that, but we're going to start doing some more brick workouts like we have been doing the last couple weekends. Today, got to the gym a little bit earlier than I was expecting, and I had a little bit of downtime waiting on Darren to come because we were going to do a workout and then swim. So got there about 20 minutes earlier than he did and was able to do some running in the meantime. I did roughly 2 miles, but it was more of a speed workout, so I started off like a 3-minute warm-up just to make sure my legs were warm, get my body right. And then we did intervals of 1 minute on, 1 minute off for the remaining time until we got to 2 miles. It was... All in all, the workout was great. I lack a lot of the faster stuff in my training in the past, and I'm trying to fix that now because I can run long, but I can't run fast. So here in the last probably since beginning of December, even maybe late November, I just decided I've got to do something to get faster. So here recently, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. One, make it easier. Two, to get healthier. And I've been working a lot more zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 stuff versus the low and slow idea. Temporarily, we do have to build a strong base that can hold that for the half marathon and end the race, but right now that's what I got. After that, for today, the actual workout, we did legs. Typical, we got 4x8. Back squat, then we did 3 sets of 15 leg extension, leg curl, and some calves. Got through that, and then we had 800 yards of the pool. Yeah, I don't really know beyond that. It is work in progress. Darren is a lot stronger of a swimmer, and it kind of cooked me a little bit today, but we'll get there. All right, so we are doing an indoor cycling at the house today. Finally got the trainer to work with me. So yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It sure beats driving 30 minutes to the gym one way just to do something on a bike because it's cold outside. But today we got some intervals. So you'll see me get faster and louder for a few minutes, but what we're doing right now is 40 seconds hard, followed by a minute and 20 seconds of easy riding. It's hard to gauge this. Right now, I'll just jump from heart rate of like 110 to 140 in 40 seconds. It seems like so far this program is pretty cool. You can see behind me, well, in front of me, I've got my iPad set up here. I'm actually on the trainer facing the iPad and the TV. It's kind of nice, but I don't know how well this is going to see. Get what I can see, but it's got me in power zones. And for anybody that's not used to bikes, because I'm still learning myself here, all power means is how hard you're pushing down on the pedal. And let me tell you, you try some of these workouts and you'll figure out real quick when you're out just riding, think you're doing good, you're actually pretty slow. Yeah, we got 45 seconds now at 190 watts. But I'll tell you one thing that's nice about being able to do this at your house. I've got TV behind it as well, so I can watch YouTube videos. And I'd encourage you, if you're into these type of things, to check out a guy named Luke Hopkins. He's a BPN athlete, but he's based more on triathlon and hybrid training. But just watching these guys and have them explain what it takes to do these things is grueling. Well, we did it. As you can tell here, I'm a little bit wet. Ended up being 9.2 miles, 30 minutes intervals, average power 111 watts. We got it done, but that's fun, but that's freaking brutal. I'm gonna have to figure out something more of a structured plan, but so far this is working better than anything I've had, so that's always good. January 10th, so today's Saturday. Yesterday's morning, I was talking about the passage I read in my devotional that morning. And after that happened, we got into work, and I was listening to a podcast through Nick Bear, and he was talking about consistency and everything that goes with that. He was more talking about how, you know, it's January, and a lot of people come to the gym for like a day or a week or two, and then they fall off. Gave some stats behind it. Obviously, we know what's going on here. People make a habit or make a commitment to themselves and don't stick with it. A friend of mine at work the other day named Hunter Odell said something to me. It was along the lines of, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what he meant by that is, if you don't take the time to do small things right, it compounds, and you'll, for lack of better terms, have to do everything you do. I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and Hunter's actually right. And it just so happened that Nick was talking about how he was very good at planning and then getting his meal prep ready, and he always uses the term forward planning, backwards planning. So he likes to sit down at night and say, all right, well, tomorrow I've got this workout, and he'll get his bags packed and get in the truck. So all he has to do is roll to bed. And one, it makes it a lot easier, because I've noticed too, I have the habit of, you know, getting up, and sometimes I have my stuff ready, and then next thing you know, what should have taken me 5 minutes takes me 15, because I can't find where I left my keys in the dark. Or just something stupid like that. And the other thing I was thinking about is consistency. With anything, especially like your health and diet and working out, it's not about coming in here one day a week and just gassing on it, and then just eating like crap the rest of the week, and then just not working out. You end up getting a lot better by being consistent. It may not be the strongest workout. You may come in here for like crap, and just come in here and do what you can each day, and just stacking another brick. And I was trying to think about what I was going to label this episode 2. And as I sit here this morning, right before I walk in the gym, I read this devotional, and he had a statement in here. I gotta find it again. Give me just a minute. January 10th. The guy was talking about a former president of the Child Evangelism Fellowship named Reese Kaufman, and apparently he was instilled at a young age from a Christian home that every night you brush your teeth and read the Bible. And going on in his life, it sounded like I'm not going to say he fell out of the Word, but kind of other things got in priority over this, and he still kept that brush your teeth and read the Bible later on, one night, even though he was quote unquote falling out of the church, he was still doing that, and God got back into his heart one night, and that's when he got back into it. And he's still, this day, he maintains that relationship. But it goes on to say, perhaps the most important aspect of Bible study is consistency, which is literally what I've been thinking about for the last couple of days, of how you do one thing is how you do everything. And what it really comes down to is we need to find a pattern that works for us with everything. Your diet, your health, your relationship with work, your relationship with the people outside of the work, how you do everything. And that's one thing I've decided I'm going to work on this year, because I like to do stuff. I like to be the best at everything I am. And obviously I'm not, but I like hyper-fixating on something until I'm better than most, and I can explain it and understand it. And problem is I tend to rush a lot of things, and it's just, personality wise, I think I'm right, I'm good at doing, I take my time, or what I think is taking my time, and it ends up I had to redo it 2 or 3 times, and that ends up taking more time in the end. There's a lot of things with that, but I guess what I'm getting at here is, this year, as part of this prep, I'm also going to start trying to be more consistent with my workouts, my diet, which I've already tried being more consistent with the diet, which has helped, but I'm not there yet. And there's always room for improvement everywhere in my life, and I would encourage anyone to look at theirs, because if you sit there and tell yourself you're perfect, you're not. You can always get better some way each day. So, with that being said, it is 8:04 on January 10th, and we are about to walk in here and do it's chest day. Sometimes I do chest and shoulders together, just because I don't have a whole lot of time for actual just lifting anymore. I'm gonna do some of this upper body stuff today, and then we're gonna get on the treadmill, and we're gonna go from, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles. It just depends on what I feel like when I get in there. So, guys, I'm gonna record some stuff today. Let's just see what happens. And one thing I hope y'all take away from this video is that find a way to be consistent with your life, and hopefully that should make your life a lot more fruitful. Thanks. Always remember, never neglect sit-ups and back extensions. And I promise you, you'll thank me later. Because I used to have this problem where I didn't do these. And all of a sudden, I got to work to put weight above my head, but I couldn't stabilize because my core sucks. So, save you the trouble later. Alright, I'm getting stared at as I set this thing up, but whatever. So, this last workout right here is something that a friend of mine named Josh Sweet did a couple years ago. It's normally meant as a warm-up, but their style of working out is, honestly, it's stupid volume, stupid heavy weight, and I can't hang on to half the stuff they do. So this is like a 4 to 5 set of dumbbell bench press, but it's like 10 to 12 reps, but you don't get a lot of break between each set. So just figured I'd like to show this one full workout, because it's a couple minutes long, and by the end of it, you're kind of gassed. gonna do 15 seconds between each round to see if I can hang on. All right, we're done with weights. One thing I'd like to say though is this is not meant as a straight, I'm going to max out every set. It's more of a find a weight you can hold steady, because what I found, it helps me with my stability. I had tendon problems with my shoulder, so it's actually helping me build up those over time versus trying to blow out stupid weight and potentially get hurt. So that's it for today's weight stuff. Everybody on the treadmill.